Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another wonderful video. My birthday is actually coming up in a couple of days at this point. It's actually, what's today? Today's Tuesday. My birthday's on Thursday. Yeesh! Yeesh! I am going to be, on Thursday, I am going to be the magical age of 40 years old. The big 40 is rapidly bearing down on me here. So I thought that over the next couple of days I would do like a short video each day. Basically talking about significant albums to me from each decade of my life up to this point. Figured it'd just be a good way to throw that in. Now, we are starting out with my birth year, which is 1978. So I'm going to be talking about a few albums from that year that I really like. But this is going to be a fairly short video because there's not a bunch of them, and I actually only have two that are in my physical collection. The rest is just stuff that I have digital copies of, as it were. First, we're going to talk about Alice Cooper From the Inside. That's not one I have physically. I find that to be a sort of okay-ish album. It's not one of Alice's better albums. I own a lot more of his earlier and later stuff in physical form, but I don't have that one, probably because I just, meh, whatever, right? Moving on beyond that, we've got I actually really like this one, Queen's Jazz album. I don't know why I don't have a physical copy of that. If I ever actually spot one in the wild, I'll be sure to buy it and pick it up. I mean, it has some really awesome songs, and of course, the primary one being "Fat Bottomed Girls." That is just a fantastic tune. It's one of my favorites, that's for sure. Another album from that year that I really really like is Rainbow's, Long Live Rock and Roll. I mean, who doesn't love to hear Dio go? I'm not going to butcher it, but to hear Dio sing, Long Live Rock and Roll. I mean, that's awesome. So yeah, Rainbow put out something killer. Now, what Sabbath put out that year, was kind of disappointing. They put out Never Say Die, which was it the last Ozzy album? Yeah, I guess that was the last Ozzy album after Technical Ecstasy. Yeah, it's meh, it's mediocre at best. And then let's see, and that's pretty much the digital stuff that's in my digital collection that I wanted to talk about. But these two albums that I'm about to show you that are in my physical collection, it's a little bit redundant for a video that I'm actually working on, but I'll go ahead and show them anyway. We got Hellbent for Leather, or Killing Machine, from Judas Priest. Right now I'm working on a series of videos comparing Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. I'm going to do basically a discography, worst to best of both of those bands. Then I'm going to do a comparative video comparing and contrasting those two bands. And I've been kind of switching on and off listening to Priest and Maiden, and right now I'm kind of still in the weeds. I'm still listening to like their worst albums. So it's a little rough right now. They both bands have put out some kind of mediocre albums. I'll say that, and some really bad ones. But I won't spoil it for you. I'm sure you can probably figure that out on your own without me saying anything. But anyway, this album, I actually did. I cheated a little bit, and I actually listened to the vinyl copy of this because I recently got it, and I absolutely love the shit out of this album. I rated it. I'll give the spoiler. I rated this 95 out of 100. It's nearly perfect. It's incredibly great. It just fucking rules. And so there we go. Hellbent for Leather. And this one here, Stained Class. I haven't listened to it yet. For this go around, I know I really like this album. It's one of my favorite Priest albums because it's great. As far as what I'll rate it, I don't know yet because I haven't listened to it to give it a rating, but I know I'm really going to enjoy it when I get around to listening to it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So what's interesting though about these two albums specifically, nowadays you're not going to see really any band release two albums in the same year, but back in the 70s it was fairly commonplace. Whereas now a band's not going to release an album more than 2 to 3 years minimum of time. Even newer, like a band that just starts out, they're going to put out their first album, and then maybe 2 or 3 years later they'll put out their next, and so on and so on. It's just interesting how a little bit how the music industry has changed. I mean, Sabbath did the same thing. They put out their self-titled and Paranoid the same year, and Judas Priest did it in '78 with, and honestly, those are absolutely some of the best albums those bands ever produced. These two are winners, and the two that Sabbath put out. So anyway, that's enough going on about that. My next video, I'll be talking about my favorite albums from 1988, and that is going to be a much longer list. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite music of 1978 was, if any of my music made your list or if it was completely different. As always, if you like this, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.